morning sunlight, loveliest ever to shine on seven-gated Thebes. Antiochus stampedes Argos, invading in full battle gear. This attacker who championed quarrelsome Polynices skimmed through our farmland. Now 7 captains guarding 7 gates. Our captains facing their deaths throw down their arms as trophies for Zeus. All but the doomed pair, born to one father, one mother, who share even their death. Now enter our new king, Creon, the son of Meneucheus, who came to power abruptly when the gods changed our luck. His robust power to create sometimes brings evil, at other times excellence. When he follows the laws which he's sworn the gods he will enforce, he soars with his sin. But reckless and corrupt, man will be driven from his station disgraced. Love, you win all your battles. You wrench even good men's minds so far off course they crash and went. Aphrodite the implacable plays cruel games with our lives. What's this? A warning from the gods? I know this girl. She's Antigone. Don't we all recognize her? Unlucky Oedipus was her father, and now her own luck runs out.
This mating, love, my own kind, born like me from the same womb. Can you think of one jewel of all those Oedipus started that Zeus hasn't used our own lives to complete? There is nothing. Pain, no shame, no terror, no humiliation that you and I haven't seen and shared. Now there is this new command our commander-in-chief imposes upon the whole city. Do you know about it?
Not a word of our family has reached me, Antigone. Encouragement or horrible. I've not heard anything that can improve our luck or make it any worse.
That is what I thought, and why I brought you out here past the gates where no one else can hear what I say.
What's wrong? It's plain something you've heard makes you livid.
It's Creon. The way he has treated our brothers. Hasn't he buried one with honor? But he has shamed the other, disgraced him. The city is forbidden to mourn him or bury him. No tomb, no tears. Convenient forage for cruising birds to feast their fill. This is not something he takes lightly. Violate any provision. His sentences you are stoned to death in your own city. Will you help these hands to lift his body?
You want to marry him? Break the law?
I'm going to bury my brother. Your brother, with or without your help. I won't betray him.
You scare me, sister. Creon's forbidden this.
He's got no right to keep from me what's mine.
He's mine, too. Just think of what our father's destruction meant for us both. All of those horrible deeds, self-inflicted, self-detected, died hated and victorious. And then our poor brothers died the same day in a mutual act of kin murder. Think about how much worse our own deaths will be, abandoned as we are if we defy the king's proclamation and his power. Remember, we're women. How can we fight men? They're stronger. We must accept these things and worse to come. I want the spirits of the dead to understand this. I am not free. I must obey whoever is in charge. It's crazy to attempt the impossible.
And I will stop asking you. If you change your mind, I won't accept your help. Go be the person you've chosen. I'll bury Polynices myself. Go ahead. Please yourself. Defy laws the gods expect us to honor.
I'm not insulting them, but how can I fight the city? I don't have the strength.
Then make that your excuse. I'll heal with earth the body of the brother I love.
I feel so sorry for you. And afraid.
Don't waste your fear. Straighten out your own life.
You're burning to do what should stop you cold.
One thing I do know, I'll please those who matter.
As if you could. You love fights you can't win.
Once my strength is exhausted, then I'll quit.
Hopeless passion is doomed from the start.
Say that again and I'll despise you. So will the dead. I'll hate you far longer. But go. Leave me and alone. My recklessness, deal with this alone. No matter what I suffer, I won't die dishonored.
If you're determined, go ahead. But know this. You're a fool to attempt this. but loved all the more by the family you love.
Stand there nodding your head. Out with it. Admit this or deny it.
I swear I did, and I don't deny it.
You are dismissed from this important business. Explain something to me out loud. Were you aware of my decree forbidding this?
Of course I knew. We all knew.
Still, you dare to violate the law?
I did. It wasn't Zeus who issued me this order, and Justice, who lives below, was not involved. They'd never condone it. I deny that your edicts, since you, a mere man, have imposed them, have the force to trample on the gods' unwritten and infallible laws. My own death won't bother me, but I would be devastated to see my mother's son die and rot unburied. I've no regrets for what I've done. And if you think my
It's apparent this girl's nature is savage like her father's. She hasn't got the sense to back off when she gets into trouble.
Stubborn spirits are the first to crack. It's always the iron tool, hardened by fire, that snaps and shatters. Headstrong horses can be tamed by a little iron bit. There's no excuse for a slave to dream when the master is home. This girl learned insolence long before she broke this law. Once more, she stands there and keeps on gloating about it and insulting us. There's no doubt, if she emerges victorious and is never punished, I am no man. She will be. I don't care that she is my sister's child, a blood relative, closer than all of those who worship Zeus in this household. She and her sister still must die. Someone who intends to commit a crime can lose control of a guilty conscience. Refer to treason gives itself away. But I also hate when someone caught red-handed tries to glorify her crime.
take me and kill me, is that your whole plan?
That's it. And when that's done, I'll be satisfied.
Then what stops you? Are you waiting for me to accept what you've said? I never will, and nothing I say will ever please you. Since you didn't mention glory, how could I do anything more glorious than build my own brother a tomb? These men here would agree with me if fear didn't seal their lips. Tyranny is fortunate in many ways. It can, for instance, say and do anything it wants.
These Thebans don't see it your way.
They do. To please you, they bite their
Aren't
tongues.
you ashamed not to follow their lead?
Since when is it shameful to honor a brother?
You had another brother who died fighting him.
Yes, born from the same mother and father.
Then why do you honor Polynices when doing so desecrates Eteocles?
Eteocles wouldn't agree with you.
Oh, but he would, because you have honored treason as though it were patriotism.
It was his brother who died, not his slave.
That brother died ravaging our country. Eteocles fell fighting to protect it.
Hades will still expect his rituals.
Brave deserve better than the vile.
Who knows what matters to the dead?
Not even death reconciles enemies.
I made no enemies by being born. I made my lifelong friends at birth.
Then go down to them. Love your dead brothers. While I'm alive, no woman governs me.
This sight also drives me outside the law. I can't stop my own tears flowing when I see Antigone on her way to the bridal chamber, where we all lie down in death.
I go carrying no wedding candles to carry me to my bridal chamber, or songs girls sing with flowers crowned
caverns of the dead. You have been wasted by disease. You've helped no sword earn its keep. No, you have chosen of your own free will to enter Hades while you're still alive. No one else has ever done that.
I once heard that a Phrygian stranger, Niobe, the daughter of Tantalus, died hideous death on Mount Shipus. Living rock, clinging like ivy, crushed her. Now they say, even now she arose. Rainwater and snow never leave her alone. They keep pouring like tears from her eyes, drenching the clefts of her body. My death will be like hers. The gods at last let me sleep.
You forget, child, she was a goddess with gods for parents, not a mortal begotten by mortals like ourselves. It's no small honor for a mere woman to suffer so godlike a fate, in both how she has lived and the way she will die.
How I'm being laughed at. Watch them march me off to my tomb, my strange rock, heat-bound prison. No friends to warn me, no laws to protect me. Me, a miserable woman. No home here on earth, and none down with the dead. Not quite alive. Not yet a corpse.
You took the ultimate risk when you smashed yourself against the throne of justice. But the stiff price you're paying, daughter, is one you inherit from your father.
Now you have touched my worst grief, the fate of my father that I keep turning over in my head. We were all doomed. The whole grand house of Lofticus by my mother's horrendous, incestuous coupling with her son. What kind of parents was I born? I'm going to them now.
Your pious conduct might deserve some praise, but no assault on power will ever be tolerated by him who wields it. It was your own hot-headed willfulness that destroyed you.
No friends, no borders, no wedding songs, no. They push me down a road that runs through sadness. Was made for me alone. Soon I will lose sight of the sun's holy eye. Wretched. No one to love me. No one to grieve.
Gods, free me from this grind. It's one long year I'm lying here, watching, waiting, propped on the roof of Atreus, chin on my paws like a dog. I've peered at the congregation of the nightly stars, bright, powerful creatures blazing in air. I watch for the sign of a torch, a beacon light sending news from Troy that she is captured. Those are the orders I received from a certain man-minded woman. This house is in trouble. The good days are gone. How I pray for change. A happy change. A light. Darkness. Hold on. There you are! Oh, fire in the night! You make me dance for joy! I must send news to Agamemnon's wife, to rise from bed, to shout aloud for this amazing fire if Troy is really taken, as the beacon seems to say. Oh, how I long to see the master of this house and touch his hand. For all the rest, I keep silent, not by ox on my tongue. This house, if it could talk, would tell a tale. But as for me, I talk to those who know, and then I lose my memory.
gentlemen, citizens, elders of Argos, you. I am not ashamed to tell you of my husband's loving ways. Shyness diminishes with age. But the fact is, life got hard for me when he was off at Troy. It is a terrible thing for a woman to sit alone in a house, listening to rumors and tales of disaster, one after another arriving. Why, had this man sustained as many wounds as people have told me, he'd be fuller of holes than a net. My poor eyes ache with weeping and watching all the night. No one else watched for those beacon fires as I did. No one kept as vigil as I did. I salute my man. He is watchdog of the palace, forestay of the ship, pillar of the roof, only son of his father, land appearing to sailors, fine weather after storms, fresh stream to a thirsty traveler. Is it not sweet to escape necessity? We have had our share of evils. Envy, be gone! And now, dear one, as a special favor to me, I pray you, descend from your car without setting foot on the ground. O king, this foot that wasted Troy. What are you waiting for? You have your orders, strew the ground with fabrics. Now, make his path crimson covered, purple paved, red saturated, so that justice may lead him to the home he never hoped to see.
Offspring of Leda, guard of my house, you have made a speech to match my absence. Long. But praise of me should come from others. Don't pamper me with female ways. Don't fuss like some groveling barbarian. Don't strew my path with anything at all. That stuff is for gods. I can't trample luxuries. I am mortal. Honor me as a man, not a divinity.
Oh, come on.
No, I will not. My principles are firm.
Would you have done it for the gods to satisfy a vow?
Yes, if some religious expert had prescribed it.
What about Priam? If he won the war?
A Priam would love to walk on stuff like this.
And still you fear the claim of common men.
The voice of the people does have power.
Unenvied means unenviable, you know.
Bulldog. It's not very feminine.
Yet a winner must acknowledge his victory.
Still, you insist on this thing.
Yes, I do.
Oh, all right. And as I tread upon these crimson cloths, let no evil eye of envy from the gods strike down on me. What a shame to trample the wealth of the household and ruin fabrics worth their weight in silver. But, as I am compelled to do your will, I shall proceed into the palace, walking on red carpets.
Your homecoming is warmth in winter, or when Zeus makes wine from bitter grapes and coolness fills the house as the master walks his halls. Righteous, perfect. Zeus, Zeus, God of things perfect, accomplish my prayers. Concern yourself here. Perfect this. I've said many things appropriate to the moment. I am not ashamed to say the opposite now. What else but hate an enemy who seemed a friend? Was I to fence them in so they couldn't leap out? This feud has been on my mind for a long time. The clash was put off, but finally it came. Stand here where I've rushed upon him. I've done it. I do not deny it. He could not run away. He could not avoid his death. My mind an endless net, like a fish net around him. An evil witch row. I strike him twice. Right there. His limbs grow limp. A third stroke of my prayer to Zeus, who lives beneath the earth and protects the dead. He lies and vomits out his own life. He gasps out killing spurts of blood, and I am drenched by a dew, drizzling and black. And in mirth the flower buds are bright as middle ornaments upon a dress. And there you have it, old men of Greece. Be thankful if you care to. I am ecstatic. We pour the right libation on the dead. My curses are right, exactly right. He mixed accursed evils in a bowl, and he drank it off when he came home. Prowling the streets again, are you? Of course, with the Justus away. He was always the one that kept you indoors where you couldn't embarrass us. Now that he's gone, you pay no heed to me. Yet, you love to make me the text of your lectures. Arrogant, bitch-minded tyrant I am. A living insult to you and your whole way of being. But do I, in fact, insult you? No, I merely return the muck you throw at me. Father, your perpetual excuse. Your father got his death from me. From me. That is right, I make no denial. It was justice who took him, not I alone, and you should have helped if you had any conscience. This father of yours is one way over. This unique Greek had the heart to sacrifice your sister to the gods. And how was that? Did he have any share in the pain of her birth? No, I did it myself. Did not Menelaus have children himself? In fact, 2 of them that ought to have died before mine. Their mother, let's not forget, was the cause of this whole expedition. Anyway, the deed is done. I feel no remorse. You think me degenerate? Here's my advice. Perfect yourself before you blame others.
At least you can say I started at this time. But these ugly remarks are unprovoked. And I want to get a few things clear about the dead man and my sister as well, if you'll allow me.
Oh, go ahead, by all means. Begin this way more often, and we won't need ugly remarks at all now, will we?
All right then. Yes. You killed my father, you admit. What admission could bring more shame? Never mind if it was legal or not. Did you care? Let's talk facts. There was only one reason you killed him. You were seduced by that creature you live with. Ask Artemis, goddess of hunters, why she stopped at the winds of Aeolus. She held the Greeks in check until as payment for the animal my father should offer his own daughter. Hence the sacrifice.
There was no other way. He resisted it. He hated it. And then he killed her, not for Menelaus' sake. No, not at all. And if we made it a rule to answer killing with killing, you would die first in all justice. Open your eyes. This claim is a fake. Tell me, why do you live your life this way? Your life is filth. You share your bed with a blood-stained man. Once he obliged you by killing my father, now you put him to use making children. Once you had decent children from a decent father, now you've thrown them out. Am I supposed to praise that? Or will you say you do all of this to avenge your child? Why go on? I can't argue with you. You have your one same answer ready. That is no way to talk to your mother. Strange. I don't think of you as a mother at all. You are some sort of punishment cage, locked around my life. Evils from him, evils from you are the air I breathe.
Right and wrong. What use is that in dealing with her? Do you hear her insults? And this girl is old enough to know better. The fact is, she would do anything. Don't you see that? No shame at all.
Now there you mistake me. Shame I do feel. And I know there's something all wrong about me, believe me. Sometimes I shock myself. But there is a reason. This one same pressure of hatred on my life. I am the shape you made me. Filth teaches filth.
You little animal! I and my deeds and my words draw far too much comment from you.
You said it, not I, for the deeds are your own, and deeds find words for themselves, don't they?
I swear you will pay for this when this comes home.
See, you're out of control. Though you gave me permission to say what I want, you don't listen.
Silence! If you will allow me, I will proceed with my sacrifice. You have spoke your piece.
By all means, go to it. Not another word from me.
The Argo had never set sail, had never flown to cloak us through the dark clashing rocks. My mistress then, Medea, never would have sailed away to reach the towers of Iolcus' land. The sight of Jason never would have stunned her spirit with desire. She never would have persuaded Pelias' daughters to kill their father. Never would have been sent away to this land, Corinth. Here she's lived in exile with her husband and children, and Medea's presence pleased the citizens. For her part, she complied with Jason in all things, and there is no greater security than this in all the world, when a wife does not oppose her husband. But now there's only hatred. What should be most loved has been contaminated, stricken since he betrayed them, his children, and my lady for a royal bed. He's married into power, Creon's daughter. Poor Medea, mournful and dishonored, she melts away her days in tears ever since she learned of this injustice. She won't touch food. Her eyes are glued to the ground. She won't listen to advice from good friends. At most, she'll listen like a rock or an ocean wave, turning her pale neck to the side, sobbing for her father, her home, her land, all that she betrayed for Jason, who now holds her in dishonor. This disaster made her realize a fatherland is no small thing to lose. She hates her children, feels no joy in seeing them. I'm afraid she might be plotting something. Her mind is fierce, and she will not endure ill treatment. I know her. Even now, I'm petrified to think of what thoughts she might be having now. A sharpened knife blade thrust right through the liver. She could even murder a member of the royal family, strike at the bridegroom too, make this whole disaster worse. She's a terror. There's no way to be her enemy and come out the victor.
Friends, I can think of several ways to kill them. Which one shall I choose? Shall I set their house of honeymoon alight, or shall I creep into the nuptial bower and plunge a sharp knife through their vitals? One thing is because if I am caught entering the palace or red-handed, die, and give my enemies the last laugh. There is a surer way, one more direct, for which I have a natural method. By poison. Yes, that is it. Well, suppose they are dead. Will any city take me in? Will any man afford me home in a country safe for living and shield me from reprisals? What if I am forced to go before it's done? Then I shall seize a sword, face certain death, and with my own hands see them through. I shall not shrink from such a step. By Hecate, no, the goddess who abides in the shrine of my inner earth, the one I reverence most of all the gods and have chosen to obey to me. Nobody breaks my heart. Their way I'll reduce to agony and married and grief for having banished me. Good! Plot Medea, devise your recipes. Advance to the deadly guide that tests your courage. See your present plight baffled by the seed of Sisyphus because of Jason's match? No, your father was a king. His father, Helios the sun. Be aware of that. Besides, you are a natural-born woman. Feeble when it comes to the sublime. Marvelously invented. Now, friends, to complete this mission with dispatch, to slay my children and hurry from this land, I must not dawdle and betray myself so much more savage ends than mine today. There's no way out. They have to die, and since they must, let me to come down. Yes, heart, be still, why vacillate? The act is necessary as it is cruel and hard. Come, reluctant hand, grip the sword, grip it, Medea, cross your borderline of lifelong pain. Consigned to the oblivion of the love you had for them. Children of your even when you kill them, they are dear. Oh, my sons! I am in despair!
Dead. Murderous.
Why this battering? This beating at the doors? Are you looking for their bodies and for me who did this thing? Save yourself the trouble. If there's anything you want, then ask.
Miserable, mephitic woman! You are possessed, and the gods have unleashed the fiend in you, on me, on your own brother too. Cut down in his own home. Before you came aboard the sweet ship Argus, your work had already begun! You married me, you bore my sons, and then you murdered them through jealousy and love. No woman in the whole of Hellas would have dared so much as you are the one I married. Tigress, not woman, not wife, and yoked myself to a hater and destroyer and viciousness more fierce than any Tuscan Scylla.
So call me a tigress if you like, or a Scylla haunting the Tyrrhenian shore. I have done what I ought. Broken your heart to the core.
You are in agony too. You share my
It
broken
is
life.
worth the suffering since you cannot scoff.
Poor children. What a monster fate gave you for a mother.
Poor sons, what a disaster your selfish father was!
It was not his right hand that killed and struck them down.
No, it was his pride, the lust of his new love.
You think it right to murder for a thwarted bed?
Do you think that a thwarted man is trifling for a woman?
A modest woman, yes! The world's worst crime.
See? They are no more. I can hurt you too.
They'll live, I think, in your tormented brain.
The gods know who began this whole calamity.
Yes, the gods know well your pernicious heart.
Wait, then I spurn the wormwood from your
As
lips.
I do yours, so let us be rid of one
Yes!
another!
Yes! Yes. This is also what I want. On what terms?
We have their ways. To mourn them, to bury them.
My own hands shall bury them. They shall be taken to the sanctuary of Hera
On the cape where no enemy shall ever do them harm or violate their sepulchre.
Murder is punished, and you will be destroyed by the avenging phantoms of your children!
What power or divine one is ready to hear you, perjurer, liar, treacherous guest?
Vile, vile murderess of little ones!
Go! Go and bury your bride!
Broken ankle. Bereft of two sons.
You bemoan too soon. Wait till my
Dearest children,
Dear to their mother.
so she slew them.
To get at your heart.
You did! You did. How I long to press my little children's lips to thine.
Now you are longing. Now you call. You utterly turned from them before.
For the love of the gods, allow me this, to stroke my children's tender skin.
You shall not erase your words.
Zeus! Do you hear how I am at bay? Dismissed by this ogress, odious woman, tigress besmirched with the blood of her young. So I mourn, and I call on the gods while I may. on the powers to witness how you have slain my children, and now prevent me from touching them dead, interring their clay. I would they had never been born to me, and have lived to see you destroy them this day.